would actually take that from the opposite, perspective, from the positive rather than the negative, because we have a basis of experience with this. And in all our workshops, when we crack open the impact, we take a look at the husband-wife relationship and how sharing responsibility, for how many children we'll have and when we'll have them, draws us closer as a couple, being aware of the other's body and what's going on. There's, in the birth control issue is a trust issue, okay? And it boils down to my trust in my husband to be as involved and as invested in those kids as I know I'm going to have to be, okay? And so what happens is if the relationship changes and Ron is involved in taking responsibility in the home and sharing responsibility for the children, I am less afraid of having more children. So once couples really begin to understand this issue from a relationship perspective, they rethink it, okay? Because they intuitively want what's going to draw them closer, what's going to invite more love. And so our experience has been that virtually every couple that comes on our workshop and looks at this whole pattern of control and irresponsibility that is prevalent in all areas of the marriage and acutely prevalent in the area of planning a family, okay? They rethink it, right? And so we've had a number of couples who have decided to choose to try natural family planning of some sort, whether it was a Creighton medical model or, the green method, right? And to give up the birth control pill, right? And we've actually had them in our home and had them tell us what the difference was in their relationship. And I was astounded at how the answers were so similar. Almost universally, they said, there's more awe in our relationship now. I'm more aware of the fact that our love could actually create a new child. And so lovemaking, you can't trivialize it. You can't, take it for granted. It's not like a mechanical ho-hum thing. Wow, God can make a child out of this. So there's awe that enters in, Typically, and this happened for me, is I felt more understood and known by Ron because he was so involved with the rhythms, and my cycles and all that stuff. And so intimacy, the joke is that it's into me see, right? And so that happens where you feel really known and understood. There's a sense that our love is bigger than the both of us that enters in. This is what they told us, which was really, really exciting. And it basically invited God into the bedroom, which is a whole nother paradigm shift for so many of them.
Yeah, I think that the basic problem with contraception or negative impact is that it feeds into irresponsibility. And when I say irresponsibility, in this case, I'm really talking about uninvolvement. Mm-hmm. See, we can disassociate ourselves from our sexuality. There's a barrier. We can be on one side and our fertility's on the other side. We disassociate with it so we can just use each other's without being involved and aware of what's really at
Here's
stake.
Another thing that came out is that, we talk about the language of the body and what are we saying when we make love. I give you my whole self. I am yours. You are mine. I love you totally and permanently. That's why we use the genitals in the first place, because they represent permanence. They link generations past and generations future, right? But what we realize is that the message changes a little bit when there's contraception, okay? When we're open to life and using natural methods, we're saying, I trust you and I trust God, right? Whereas with the pill, we're saying, I trust chemicals. It's a different message, right? I give you my whole self. Whereas the other way, we might be saying, everything except my fertility, that's the part I'm holding back, so it just kind of changes the message a little bit. And we're not saying I love you and your children and your children's children anymore. And then, we can say that message even if we know we're not going to conceive one this month, because we've decided not to, but we're still so aware of that. So it really links it.
Yeah, and it's just so easy for a guy to, because the contraceptive pill is the primary method of preventing conception, it's just too easy for the man to say, that's your problem, or you handle that, and not take any interest or involvement. And the woman doesn't feel known or understood.
Or cherished.
Or cherished, and she can come away feeling used. So it breaks down. It comes between the relationship, and not only does it prevent a child, it prevents the fullness of the relationship from blossoming.
You know what's counterintuitive is that people who created the pill, and when it was first created, were well-meaning, because they really thought it would mean that husbands and wives would make love more, which everybody knows is bonding and good for them, right? But the fact of the matter is that women who use natural family planning say no to lovemaking far less frequently than women who are on the pill. And so it didn't achieve that goal at all. And in fact, with natural family planning, because we feel reverenced and cared for, we say yes, because we're drawn into that.